As we all know, in a couple weeks, Madden NFL 23 will drop, brand new title, other stuff, and a lot of questions always asked, is it a new game actually? Is it the same game, copy and paste? How's the gameplay going to be? And, with the gameplay, the competitive aspect, a big part of it is the meta. And I'm going to be going into my ninth year playing MUT. I've been playing Madden, though, since like third grade or whatever, but, from a MUT point of view, 9 years will be next year, and there's no denying that the meta does define the game, from a gameplay point of view. And you can always do solo challenges, or you can just play casually online, whatever. Like, you can still play online and have fun, right? But weekend league, head to head playoffs, where the real comps at, it's really defined by the experience of, seriously, first of all, the servers, because if you have bad servers, let's be honest here, I mean, you're going to have lag outs all the time. But, I'm not going to lie, I had Ethernet last 2 years. I don't really think you guys have saw my streams lag out. And when it does, it did do that like 2 times this year. I got an email from my college saying their internet went out. So that was the reason why it wasn't EA. And their servers are down sometimes, but like it's not like it happens as much as it used to. But again, it's the meta, and there's a meta in every game. There's even a meta in NBA. I heard. Okay, I don't really want to know what that is. Okay, it sounds horrible, but I've been playing video games my whole life. You guys already know I'm a gamer and stuff like that. Clash of Clans. There's decks you can use that are the meta. There's one called Go Wipe with wizards and pekkas and bullshit. There's one with like dragons and archers. Clash Royale, the Mega Knight is the meta. Not anymore, but like at one point it was, right? Like, metas fluctuate. Meta is really, people look at meta like, oh, it's the devil, or it's not so bad. It's just, when you think about what the definition of the meta is the most popular way to go about a game such that it will give you the best chance to win. That's really what the meta is. It's not like you're cheating. You're not cheating. You're just using a tactic that gives you a high probability of success, because the game engine, the gameplay, the game that you're playing almost gives you a favor, because you're doing almost what exploits the game. And I feel like there's a difference between being smart in the game, cheesing, and meta. I feel like when you do meta, it's like you're on the internet, you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch, you watch someone, MCS, and just because you watch someone play and you copy their plays, that's not really meta. Where it becomes meta is when someone makes a YouTube video about it. Hey, do these adjustments, do this and this and this, and then everyone does it, and then it's so hard to beat, right? But the one thing I'll say about the meta, though, is you do know, if you do your research correctly, you do know what plays they're running. Out of like gun doubles or gun bunch offset, whatever it is, right? Even gun trips is very powerful, right? You should at least know what they're running, right? Now, I'm not saying every single play, but an idea. So that's the good part about the meta, is that the pros cons to it is, the cons is it's just so annoying seeing it every time. Now, by every time, I mean more than you should. When you play the weekend league and it's 25 games, it shouldn't be that bad. But what makes it bad is how I feel like every other game is just, I remember, this past year, Man 22, I just felt like at one point everyone had escape artists. Now, that brings me to my next point of cheesing. Cheesing is not really meta. It's more of just you're looking for exploits in the game, right? Like, for example, when you're spinning every play. Now, everyone does it, you touched my lawn, I'll touch yours, right? Or there's a saying about that, right? Like, you started it, I'll finish, right? Like, if your opponent's doing it, it's fair game, right? If everyone else is doing it, it's fair game, right? You can't really blame someone for exploiting the game because it's really EA's fault. Spinning, escape artist, even edge threats a couple years ago, acros are just horrible. They bail people out. Even lurker, how they could like stay 2 yards or at the line of scrimmage and they jump 20 feet in the air. Like I'll throw a ball over the middle of the field 20 yards, 20 yards, and a guy at the line of scrimmage will jump and pick it off. The trajectory is higher than him, dude. Like, fuck off, man. Like, literally, it's not like you're cheating, but it almost feels like you are. I feel like being smart in the game, though, and people will think that chewing clock is cheesing. I think that's just being smart. Now, I'm a little bit biased because I do it like every single time, every single game. You have to realize I chew clock every game. And I play 25 games every weekend. And I still am time crunched to get those games in. If I didn't chew clock, I don't really know if I'd be able to finish the games. So you have to realize chewing clock is also a time saver. But also, because games could be over a half hour, 45 minutes each if you don't do that. By chewing clock, I would say half hour max. And that's max. That's like a high scoring game that was back and forth, even overtime maybe. But no, like when you're smart in the game, like look at Mike Vrabel and the Titans versus the Patriots. Mike Vrabel literally chewed almost half the fourth quarter, and they were like, yes, it is possible. Like I'm not saying that you can chew a whole half in real life, because in Madden, if you do it correctly, you actually could chew almost a whole half. That's kind of disgusting, actually. Especially if it's second half and you're winning and you're able to chew the whole half. That's just ridiculous. But in real life, teams do that. Like milk 19, like they milk the clock, they chew it down. Like that's actually being smart in the game. Like that's not really cheesing, right? If anything, it takes brain. It takes the knowledge for the it's situational football, right? You know what to do when to chew clock, when to do okay tempo, and then when to do hurry up offense. That's just being smart in the game, right? I feel like cheesing is also when you do the same 3 plays the whole game. I don't care if it's your own 3 plays. If you only call 3 plays the whole game. Now, I only call 9, 10, 11. I'm not really much better, right? I'm trying to branch it off more in a 12, 13 plus, right? But if you do the same 2 or 3 the whole game, one formation the whole game, you can't say it's the meta if it's not the meta plays or if it's not the meta formation like 3-5 wide. But it's still kind of just bullshit. Like, yeah, you won the game, but like, what did you accomplish? You showed that 3 plays. It's like saying, that I don't even really know a good argument, to be honest. It's like saying that 14 squared is 296 or whatever. I don't even know if that does not sound right. 196, I think, right? It's like, yeah. That's what it is. 14 squared is 196. 13 squared is 169. 12 squared is 144. 11 squared is 121. Blah, blah, blah. Matt, what's your point? I'm smart in math. Well, are you really smart in math, or do you just memorize the squares? It's like saying, I won in Madden, I'm so good. Are you really that good, or you just run 3 plays the whole game? You see what I'm saying? Like, no one wants to say that. Yeah, it's cringy, man, but it's the truth. If you only know 3 plays, then yeah, you won, but do you really feel that great about it? Like, I just feel like, to be honest, people care more about the results, the status. It's just like real life. Like, let's be honest here. I have an Apple phone. I have a Tesla. I have a Starbucks coffee. I'm top 100. It's all status. People want status. They're so hypocritical. Everyone always says, "I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I'm myself." But everyone cares more about conformity than they do about their own, really, to be honest, their own intellectual well-being. I mean, are you having fun in the game? That's really what matters. And it's like, you literally take those aspects, being smart in the game, cheesing, meta. If you're able to really know those three things and know how they interact and intertwine in the gameplay, again, the meta, it's annoying, but it's always going to be in every video game. People will look up, how do I win Madden? How can I be good? How can I do this? It's almost like a brainwash. It's almost like saying how to be a good person. You are a good person, you're not a good person. I don't care what anyone says. You're a good person, you're a bad person. When you're 5 years old, are you punching someone? It's just who you are. You're probably a bad person. If you're a good person, you probably hold doors for people when no one's looking. You probably do things off camera good. It's not because the camera's looking, oh, I'm going to do it. You're good or you're bad. And that goes for Madden too. You're good, you're bad. Okay? And I'm not saying good is MCS. I'm not saying good is top 100. What I mean by good is just, you're just a good player. And that's a wide spectrum. That goes from even average to above average, right? Bad as in, I can't make reads. I can't user. I don't know clock management. I don't know how to call timeouts. I don't know football. That's bad, right? And if you're bad, who gives a crap? If you're having fun, that's all that matters. But if you're a bad player and you're trying to be good by using the meta, it's not really how it works. You might get wins, but calling hike, rolling out, doing a cover beater, does that really make you a good player? Are you really that sticky? Or are you just spinning on next gen because it just works? Right? Now that's more of a cheesy aspect than a meta. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna end it here in like 2 minutes because I can't make a long video. But dude, it's like, have fun in the game. I have my own 9-10 plays. It's not 2 plays, it's not 20 either. I probably should branch it off more. But again, these games are quick. This ain't no NFL offense. This is a MUT video game. You go on an online game, 4-minute quarters. If you can know about 10 plays, that's pretty good. You can't really... I don't even know if you have time to run 20 plays. I mean, seriously. If you chew clock, you go through it quickly, bro. And it's like, to be honest, man, I would probably say I'm an above average player. I'm not a great player. Maybe good. But I say above average. What makes me win more games is just being smart in the game. And I feel like if you watch my channel, you probably pick up on the smart things I do more and more, maybe in your gameplay. But you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. Okay, I don't want to call out G-Minus World, but he ran 2 plays the whole game. And there's actually a video on my channel. It's literally the video on my channel, thumbnail or whatever. He ran 2 plays the whole game. And you guys know G-Maya, he sometimes gets top 100. He sometimes gets, all these wins and stuff. Does that mean he's a good player? No. Okay? And I'm not saying I'm so much better, but a little bit better, right? But again, being better doesn't matter. Again, just because I can name all the squares, 13 squares, 169, 14 squares, 196, whatever, doesn't mean I'm good at math. A good math student knows how to go about math, right? The inductive thinking styles, right? How you go through the process. A good Madden player knows situational football, being smart. Sadly, you probably will have to know some exploits, okay? But again, if everyone's spinning, it's fair game. If everyone's doing escape artist, fair game. But where I draw the line is, are you doing escape artist rollouts every single play? Are you spinning every single play? spin here and there, it works, right? But every play, low ball, a low ball, every play, people abuse that shit. High pass every play. The halfback wheel puck. Use it. Use the halfback wheel. But every play, that's kind of where I draw the line. And like I said, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. I only called 10 plays, but still, it's better than, 3 or 4 plays. I mean, come on, dude. I feel like Madden will actually be good when everyone has their own scheme, and it will never happen. But if everyone truly went in the game, and you'll still have some meta people, but if you really went in that game, and you had your kind of unique spin to your gameplay, that's where I really feel like Madden can improve on. The gameplay's not horrible. We make it horrible. Because of YouTube, the meta, money plays, cover beaters, 55 wide, money blitzes. Like, we break the game ourselves. And weekend league's not bad. We make it bad. It sucks. It is what it is. That's really all I gotta say. It's an intro. The last thing I'll say is Field Sense. Field Sense is an actual new mechanics-based system for physics. I think because the gameplay actually will feel different on next gen only, the metas should change for that, including the spin moves. I heard juke and spins are hella nerfed, which is awesome. So I expect conservative will be the new meta in that regard. So a lot to explore, a lot more to talk about, but that is an intro only to Madden 23 meta. Give me your thoughts on the meta. Give me your thoughts on what you think this year will look like. Peace.